Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing some technical analysis on the Bitcoin chart. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin's price action both in the short term and in the long term because, guys, as always, we need to get perspective on this market and see where we think the market is actually going. And I'm also going to be explaining why I do believe that this Bitcoin bear market is over and that we're likely to see a bull run, whether that be a small bull run or an actual proper bull run that'll bring us through the end of 2018, forming here in the next couple of days. But we're going to be talking about all of that and more in today's video. So guys, if you enjoyed today's video, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and also if you guys are interested, sign up with the link in the description down below for Binance. Not only will you be getting access to an amazing cryptocurrency exchange, you will also be helping to fund this channel so I can continue to bring you guys good content. But we'll be talking about that more later on at the end of the video. Bitcoin is currently trading around $6,400, up about 0.5% from where it was 24 hours ago, and up about $300 from where it bottomed out, around $6,100. Its volume is doing pretty well. We have about $5 billion in trading volume for Bitcoin. The volume for Bitcoin, its trading volume, has continued to rise as this price has continued to decline in the last couple of days, which is certainly something that we are interested in seeing. EOS is down to $10. It's pretty far retraced from when it actually jumped up because of the mainnet launch news. Ripple has had a new logo change. You can see right here. They announced that on Twitter yesterday, and they have actually changed their logo. Plenty of cryptocurrencies are very far retraced from where they were just a week ago, but in the last 24 hours, as we can see here, most of the market is green. Not very green. We're not seeing many double-digit gainers. We are seeing a few, but most of the market is at least green, and that kind of lends to the fact that I think, or lends to my opinion, that we have just found the bottom for this market. Bitcoin's dominance is hovering right around 40%. It's tickling that little 40% region that I've talked quite a bit about on this channel. I've talked about how if it really starts to pass 40% and it continues to rise past 40%, that we're probably going to see a prolonged Bitcoin bear market, or at least it's going to continue, because that signals that there's more risk aversion in the market. People are putting their valuation into a more stable asset here in cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. It looks like we might be bouncing off of this 40% region for reasons I'll be explaining in the technical analysis portion. So that's a very interesting thing to keep in mind, is that the risk aversion has continued to go up, but it looks like it might be coming down. It looks like, based on the chart that we'll be talking about in a second, that that's going to be coming down pretty soon, and that less risk aversion is going to be in the market, and more of that valuation is going to flow into the altcoins, which have more room to grow, which can lead to an altcoin cycle, which can lead to a bull run. You guys know how this works. The market capitalization for Bitcoin is up quite a bit down from where it was just before this last little week of chaos that we've had. It's hovering around $275 billion. Its all-time bottom was around 250 back here, if I remember correctly. Yep, back here in April, we bottomed out around $250 billion. And even though the price of Bitcoin is lower than it was back then, our actual market cap is still higher because Bitcoin still has a lot of that valuation. If we come out here to the chart, if we come out here to the cryptocurrency list, let's just see if is there anything else we want to talk about here. No, I don't believe there is. So let's get on to the technical analysis portion. So like I said, I want to talk about the short-term and the long-term intervals. We're going to talk about the short-term intervals first so that we can get an idea of what's going on with Bitcoin in the last couple of days. And then we're going to zoom back out here to the day chart so that we can talk about where I think Bitcoin is going to be going in the next weeks and months. You guys know I like that phrase, weeks and months. I've noticed recently that I say that quite often. Anyway, of course, we know Bitcoin bottomed out originally back here around $6,500. It first bottomed out around $6,000 back over here, but more recently we bottomed out around $6,500, and then we ran up to $10,000. And ever since then, for the last about a month, close to 5 weeks, since the beginning of May, we've been gradually trending downwards. We trended down, down, down. We saw a little bit of a bull flag here, but unfortunately we didn't, a bear flag here, but unfortunately we didn't really get enough exuberance in this bounce, and we did continue to fall. And over the last couple of days, Bitcoin has been flattening out a little bit. We've stopped falling as quickly. We've seen Bitcoin trying to get support down here several times, falling all the way down to a level down here around $6,100, like I mentioned earlier. Now, right now, it kind of looks like that might be the bottom, but I'm not totally convinced that it is yet. As you can see, we've come oversold on the RSI many, many, many times. And at every single interval, Bitcoin is very oversold on its RSI. Not so much anymore, but it was a couple of hours ago, about 12 hours to 24 hours ago, when it was coming down here to $6,100. It was very oversold, and even back up here around $6,600. As we can see down here on the 4-hour chart, Bitcoin went all the way down to about 13 on the RSI, and I don't have the CoinDesk article up, but they were actually reporting, and if we come back here on the chart, then we can see that that's the lowest Bitcoin's RSI on the 4-hour has been since early 2016. Let me see if I can find that article right here so that you guys know that I'm not crazy. It's not here, but you guys can go on CoinDesk and find that for yourselves. But the RSI has been very overextended in the sell side direction on the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin, and of course for the day chart as well, but we'll be talking about that in a second. Bitcoin has just been falling, and it's in this little area here that you can see. This is a very important support area. Now Bitcoin, we didn't want Bitcoin to fall below $7,200 because there was an uptrend here. Unfortunately, we fell straight through that. That was like a deadfall trap, and now we're falling, and we're hitting the bottom, and we're just waiting for the hunter to come collect us. But right now we're trying to get support down here in this area in between $6,000 and $7,000 and form and establish that triple bottom that we've been talking about here on the channel quite a bit. Now, $6,000 is a very important level of support. That is a very, very important level of support. If we get down into the fives, that means that we've broken bearish out of this consolidation pattern, or that this triple bottom consolidation pattern, or that we have actually established a downtrend consolidation pattern, which is very bearish indeed. Currently, that hasn't happened, and I don't think that's going to happen. As we can see, this little area that I've drawn here is kind of an area in between $6,000 and $6,500. If you guys go and watch my trading strategies video, the only one up right now, it'll be linked right here, then in that video, I talk about how support and resistance levels, I was talking about support and resistance levels in that video. You will see where I was talking about how support and resistance levels don't just have to be a single dollar level, they can be support and resistance areas. And what we're seeing right now is a triple bottom with a support area of around $6,000 to $6,500. And right now we're trying to figure out where exactly we want to bottom out. Is 6,100 going to be the bottom? Is 6,000 flat going to be the bottom? We're going to find out in the next couple of days, I do believe. Let's come out here to the day chart and talk about what I want to talk about here. Talk about this longer term triple bottom consolidation pattern here. Now, like I said earlier, if Bitcoin does go below $6,000, that is either going to signal a bearish breakout of this consolidation bottom, this descending triangle pattern, or it's going to signal that we've actually formed a descending triangle pattern. You could draw it something like this. I know some people have drawn it like this, and the bears are talking about how this indicates that Bitcoin is going to break bearish to the downside and continue down to like $5,000, $3,000. I'm not convinced that that actually is true until we break below $6,000. If we do break below $6,000, I'm definitely looking at support levels like 5,000 and 5,800 down here. This little area in between 5,000 and 5,500, excuse me, are important levels because we have a top right over here and a bottom right over here. So you could really draw a support area like that that's below us, but we really don't want to go that far down. What I expect is going to happen is since we're very oversold down here on the RSI, as you can see, we came down to about 25, 26, 27 on the RSI in the last couple of days, in the last day actually. Since we're extremely oversold, and historically, whenever Bitcoin gets extremely oversold, goes down to about 30 on the RSI on the day chart, a bull run follows. As we can see back here in July, a bull run followed. As we can see back here in September, a massive bull run followed. As we can see here in February, nearly 100% gain followed in the middle of one of the worst Bitcoin bear markets in recent history. A similar thing happened in April, and I think a similar thing is going to happen here. Now, what we're probably going to see in the next couple of days, we're not going over time yet, what we're probably going to see in the next couple of days is Bitcoin is going to establish a bottom down here. It may already have $6,100, maybe our bottom, it might not. We might come all the way back down to $6,000, so be wary of that. What we're probably going to see is an established bottom, and we're going to see some more volume come into the market as Bitcoin comes up here to test this downtrend for what is probably going to be one last time. And this is, right now we're seeing a very exciting market, but this doesn't even really compare to what this is going to be like. If we get resistance on this downtrend again, we're probably going to reject straight off of it and come break through $6,000. I don't think that's going to happen though. What I'm expecting to happen in the next couple of days and weeks is for Bitcoin to find its bottom down here in between $6,000 and $6,100. And actually get support there and continue to bounce because of the oversold nature of the RSI, continue to bounce all the way up here and hopefully break through this downtrend. We're going to need to see some more volume come into the market for that though, although we are seeing some good volume now. And guys, the reason I believe that we are going to break that is because, like I talked about in yesterday's video, which you should go watch, there's a link up here, you should go watch that video, because what I was talking about in that video is how, and the video before that also, so I'm not going to harp on this too much for you guys who are here every day, is that as the price continues to decline, the fundamentals of Bitcoin continue to rise. So the price action is doing one of these numbers, it's going it's doing whatever, it's just kind of, falling off a cliff. But the fundamentals of the cryptocurrency, the underlying intrinsic value, as I'm calling it, the actual value, the utility value of the cryptocurrency. Some people were confused by what I meant by this. The utility value of the cryptocurrency, its speed based on Lightning Network and other layer 2 solutions, not just Bitcoin, but for cryptocurrencies in general, these kind of technologies are continuing to rise. More people are learning about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, so the more people in a market that are buying into a market, naturally the market's going to rise. There are a lot of factors that are underlying Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in the blockchain industry that will bring back more volume and bring back more money and more liquidity into this market that is simply not being reflected in price action right now. So even though the price is going down, there are plenty of things that are going on behind the scenes, or not even behind the scenes, in the news, like the Coinbase thing we're about to talk about, that are very bullish signs that are simply not affecting the price action yet. But they will. If we continue to go on a bear market and the bullish news continues to come out, all that does is leaves us more room for a bull run in the future. So since all of this bullish news has been coming out in the last month or so, and Bitcoin's price has been doing nothing but trending downwards, I think it only makes sense that maybe not in the short term, but at least in the long term, that Bitcoin's price will eventually start to reflect that. That's kind of what happened back over here in 2017, is that we continued to reflect all those developments, but then we got too excited, and then we went way past that intrinsic value. We were kind of following it here, maybe around 8,000. Maybe you could value Bitcoin at 8,000 back here with that, based on that intrinsic value idea that I was talking about. I wouldn't necessarily say so, but we certainly couldn't value it at $20,000, and that's why we had the bear market. Right now, I think Bitcoin is at least close to, or at least more valuable than $6,000 based on, and the cryptocurrency industry compared to what it is now is much more valuable than what the price is reflecting. Because of all those factors, I do think that Bitcoin is probably going to break bullish out of this descending triangle if it manages to stay above $6,000, because of all this bullish news that continues to come out that is not being reflected in the price action. Let's talk about one of those. A couple of days ago, Coinbase announced that it didn't necessarily announce it. It announced the launch of a Coinbase index fund. They've been talking about this for a long time, but it is now actually coming to fruition. It is now actually live, if I understand correctly. It went live yesterday on June the 13th. Basically what this is, we can come here to their Twitter. This is just an article by Cointelegraph announcing this. U.S. Coinbase index fund opens for investments between $250,000 and $20 million. Now, this is not exactly a retail index fund. This is on the scale of the Bitcoin ETF that we've talked about here on the channel. But this is baby steps. This is a first step towards more retail-focused and more consumer-focused index funds from Coinbase. I'm tripping on my words for some reason, but they're talking about actually releasing retail level index funds in the future. But they announced this a couple days ago, and for some reason I didn't mention it in one of my latest videos, but they did talk about this. I remember seeing this like 10 minutes after it went up. I just got lucky and saw it because I was on Twitter. But you guys should follow my Twitter, by the way. Coinbase says index fund, announcing Coinbase index fund is open for investment. So essentially they have now opened this. And the way that this kind of index fund is going to work is it's going to be a basket of digital assets. That's exactly what an index fund is. It's a basket of assets. But in this case, since it's Coinbase, they're doing it based off of what assets they list on their exchange, GDAX, and then they actually decide what the composition of that index fund, what the composition of that basket will be based on the market capitalization. So as we can see, the index fund currently will have 61.5% Bitcoin, 27% Ethereum, 8% BCC, 3% LTC, and then like maybe 1% for Ethereum Classic when they do actually list that and when that actually is live on Coinbase. So this is more bullish news, guys. We see stuff like this coming out all the time. We see all kinds of bullish news coming into the cryptocurrency market, and what does the market continue to do? It just continues to tank. It just continues to fall off a cliff. Guys, that is a sign that if the market is going down and there's so much good news in the actual ecosystem, and there's no real terrible news coming out. The worst news I can think of that, well, I don't think it was that bad, but a lot of people think it was so bad, was the Coinbase hack, and that wasn't really that big a deal. That was a tiny exchange over in South Korea, I think it was. So guys, we haven't really seen that much bearish news, but the price continues to go down. We see bullish news, the price is going down. There's something wrong here. That's a signal to buy to me. You guys got to figure that out on your own. Whether or not you want to buy, that's up to you. This is not financial advice. But I'm just saying, Bitcoin is continuing to trade downwards, and we're continuing to see bullish news. So I think the next couple of months, or at least by 2019, at least by the beginning of 2019, we are going to see a bull run kick off, I think. I don't think this bear market is going to last as long as the historical one we saw in 2014 and 2015. I just don't think it's on the table. That really kicked off and started because of the Mt. Gox hack. And like, there was a ton of Bitcoin lost from the Mt. Gox hack and bankruptcy. That was an absolute catastrophe for the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market. Right now, all we're seeing is kind of like a little a little miniature bubble pop here because we had too many people buying in on FOMO. That's all this market is built off of. If we see like if CoinDesk and Binance both get hacked and they lose all their funds or something, that would be a reason for Bitcoin to go down to $3,000 or $1,000. I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see, though. Time will tell. I think the bull run is going to be starting soon. It might not happen in the next month. It might not happen in the next 6 months. But, guys, I do think it's coming. And I do think $6,000 is a good position to get in before that happens. But I want to hear your guys' opinions in the comments section down below. Also, I want to hear your opinion on how fast I talk. Because I get a lot of comments from people saying that, oh, well, Jebb, you talk too fast. And then I also get a bunch of comments of people saying, oh, well, Jebb, I love that you talk so fast. And then I get comments of people saying, you still don't talk fast enough. I put you on 1.5x, and if you put me on 1.5x, try it right now. There's a button down here with a gear. You can put me on 1.5x. I sound like a chipmunk on speed, but my point here is that I want you guys to click a poll up here and tell me whether you guys like or dislike how fast I talk. I naturally talk this fast, but I can slow down if that would please the majority of you. But I think you guys like it. Tell me in the comment section down below, or tell me in that poll. Also, like I said, tell me in the comment section down below if you think a bull run is about to kick off, if you agree with my idea and my methodology that we're very oversold and that there's nothing but bullish news coming out and that we should be seeing bullish price action coming in the next couple of weeks. I'm very interested to hear your opinion on that. Also, guys, if you're interested in signing up for a cryptocurrency exchange, like I already said, please do so. There's a link to sign up for Binance in the description down below. Not only will you be getting access to an amazing cryptocurrency exchange, it's one of the most popular, if not, I believe, the most popular cryptocurrency exchange in the industry. They have great user interface, tons of coin options, really good charting software, everything you could ever want. They have a basic and an advanced software. I use it for my personal trading. And also, if you guys sign up for that with the link in the description down below, like I said, you'll be getting access to a great cryptocurrency exchange. You'll also be helping to fund this channel so I can continue to bring you guys good quality content, or at least I think it's quality. You guys can tell me about that in the comments down below. But anyway, guys, I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.